Let's talk about probability. Now, probability is basically the way we calculate chance of something happening. So, there is sort of a formula to this. The formula is the number of ways to get the desired outcome divided by number of ways that basically the total number of outcomes. So basically, if we were to roll a die, the number of total ways would be 6, and the number of ways desired would be whatever number we desire, and the number of ways to get that number. This is a little bit confusing, so let's look at an example. So here we have that what is the probability of rolling a 4 on a standard 6-sided die? So we have the number of ways desired divided by the number of ways that in total. So the total, we know there's 6 faces on a die, so there's 6 different numbers that we can get. Our desired number is 4. How many ways can we roll a 4? Well, there's only one way. It's when we actually roll a 4. So our answer is 1 divided by 6. Since there's only one way to roll a 4, it's a 1, and there's 6 in total. Let's look at another example. So this is the same problem, except it's rolling a 5 instead. So again, we have the number of ways to get the desired outcome and the total number of outcomes. So again, since it's a die, there's 6 different faces, so there's 6 total outcomes. The number of desired, again, just like the last problem, we want the number 5, and there's only one way to get the number 5. The die that we roll must have 5 dots on it. So our answer, sorry about that, it should be a 1. So our answer is 1 over 6. Let's look at a different type of probability problem. So far we've only looked at dice. So now let's look at coins. So what is the probability of getting heads when you flip a coin? Now, again, we're going to use a formula, but I just want to explain how this is going to work. So we have a coin. So this is the front, and this is the back. So the probability of getting heads is the number of ways we can flip the coin and land on heads. That's 1. And there's 2 possibilities in total. So it's going to be 1 divided by 2. Now, I didn't do the number of ways desired and the number of total outcomes, but I basically did the same thing. Now that you know how to calculate probability, I want to define a little bit terminology. So this heads and tails, this is called sample size. This is basically a fancy way of saying the different outcomes that we can get. And so when we write out the formula, so the number desired divided by the number of total outcomes, the total number of outcomes is the sample size. So here our sample size is heads and tails, so that's a sample size of 2. If we go back to the dice example, here, since the denominators are sample size, we know that this is our sample size. So our sample size is 6. So you might be wondering, why is it 6? Well, we can list out the 6 different possibilities. You can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This is our sample size, and there's 6 numbers in it. So that's all you need to know for probability. Now, probability can be a little bit tricky, so this requires a lot of practice.
I'll link the practice worksheet and its answers in the comment section, so make sure you go check those out.